Yeah, ironically, perhaps it's April 1st today. It's going to be some really big rallies all across Canada this weekend. And you're not seeing it, we're not seeing it, I'm not seeing it on mainstream media, obviously. I don't even see it discussed in Parliament. But I'll sort of come back to that. And if you're at a rally and posting, please, you need to put it on one of the social groups. Sock it to Trudeau. Trudeau's got to go, pick one, anyone. Then it's on YouTube and it remains. When you post them on Facebook, they last a little bit and they're removed. That's it. They're gone. I wish I had the techno ability to show you just how big numbers, both at the rallies and locations all across the country. You know, if I had that techno savvy, I'd have the screen in the background showing like Victoria last weekend was packed. As far as the eye could see, there were people. Calgary, it's been going on for weeks. And what do they call it now? The next generation convoy. And the way that the protesters are circumventing the fact that the Emergencies Order Act left some lingering governmental powers that negate the Charter of Rights and our rights to freedom of assembly and to protest and all of that stuff. In Ottawa, for example, the convoy just drives through. You know, you're not $86 fine for honking your horn, but they just drive through and go to the next place, and another convoy's coming the other way. I mean, there's still all kinds of people in Ottawa. They're still camped in the fields all around Ottawa. You're not seeing it out there. Even my friends come in and they're like, really, this is going on? And I'm like, you could just drive 40 minutes down the road, you'd see it. But the carbon tax went in today, another 11 cents a liter. Who's got the time and money on a Saturday to just take a nice drive anymore, right? So, but believe me, it's way, way bigger, and it continues to grow. And again, I don't see our Parliament discussing this. They just want to pretend to ignore it. It's huge. Some of the world does see it. I mean, you saw Trudeau tongue down in Parliament. On which note, somebody called him a dictator in open Parliament the other day. His House Speaker got up and tried to, you can't say that. That's terrible. That's irresponsible. That's blah, blah, blah. And then what's her name? Rachel Harder stood up with the dictionary definition of a dictator and said it would seem there's an awful lot of people in Canada who wouldn't disagree with that statement. What continued from there, I don't know. I didn't bother watching it. I also see a steep curve in the increase of the number of citizens coalition groups I see on YouTube. That's the word I was looking for when I said send your videos to the citizens coalition groups. Facebook just throws them into one sock land. There's a steep curve in that. I see the Freedom War Room is one, and the numbers of that subscribers, followers, has grown hugely. And because it's popular, you can see some fresh news on there. If you're interested, the Freedom War Room. Fake News Friday with the True North is fantastic. With the True North with Candace Malcolm. Fake News Friday. It's hilarious. She takes the CBC, CTV, whatever, the propaganda parrots of the mainstream media, and just tears their stories to pieces. I needn't go into any details on that, I think. In the meantime, our reigning government is doubling down on everything, and I mean everything. While the people are ever increasingly out on the streets protesting against the ever-increasing government. Well, I mean, the government's clamping down, the people are fighting back, and it's obvious the government doesn't care. The bills tabled in front of Parliament, I won't bother going through them all. I'd have to make several videos. Each and every one of them, I mean, there's a dozen or more, should not be in a democracy. They should not even be considered in a democracy, and yet with the new marriage between the NDP and the Liberals being official, they just go through. I just saw this morning, I was watching quickly, Freeland, the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, announced what really totals $500 billion in spending under the supply part of the supply and confidence agreement between the two, now one party. And when an underling was questioned about that by the Senate, how much money and where, she was like, oh, sorry, I hadn't expected a question. And I mean, Freeland came out and just said, this is what we're doing, not even a speech as to why we're doing it, justifying it, we're going to help the people. It was just, yeah, we're spending this money. Yeah, that's how our parliament rolls. So, yes, this weekend, watch out. It's going to be everywhere. And again, I just don't have the techno savvy to show you that. But things are really heating up here in Canada. It's not looking good. We got a lot more material to get through.